Hi, Rick Harsh here from Coronasamizdat. I just want to do a quick booktube about Filthy Synecdoche, which stands out amongst our books. We put a lot into our covers. We like to have nice book covers. I don't know what the best one is. One of the best is one third of a spine, Zach Tanner's Atomic Margie and the Atomic Brain, which is going to be a trilogy, and the spines will form their own mural. Um, there's some great covers designed by Zach Tanner, not least of which is here. Uh, Wake up, we're almost there. Um, the what do you call that? Magenta? I don't know the color of the um, the well, of the words on the back, and the I don't know, the shadows of the letters on the front. Um, this is a fantastic collage. It's interesting. Collage is a strange art. It's like like you're putting together a puzzle that has no answer, and you make up your own answer. And I think someone like me, I'd generally be wrong. I'd say, hey, that's a great picture, put it on, and then I'd put another one, but with no clue as to how they interact. There's the guy, I think goes by Sterloid, a drummer, does collage, and he's got a great eye for it. But this was our first great collage cover, Zach Tanner. This cover, looks like you got um, um, hangman's noose, and it looks like prison cell something or other, but with books, I mean, so this guy, maybe it's about a guy who reads in prison a lot. But it's my favorite title of all of ours, because synecdoche is one of those words that I have to look up every time I decide I want to know what it means. And filthy synecdoche, that synecdoche is not conventionally thought of as filthy or not filthy. It's an intriguing title, but what is the book about? Well, you could ask the author, but where are you going to find him? He's not on the cover. Another, delight. I like anything that subverts the norm in life and in books and literature. This is one of my favorites. It's not selling well, but then again, that's the case with most books from our press. Not a lot of people buy books from overseas. Although I think I've said before on here that let's get one of these down. There we go. Cactus boots. America and the Cult of the Cactus Boots were very close to the 1,000th sale of this book. And then we have all these other books that are, doing, I think, they have a lot of interest. A Bended Circuity has sold well. We had to go into a second printing on this one. Solarium has sold well. In fact, I think I either lost a box or I gave too many away. We have this policy to offset to some degree the pain of postal charges. We throw in free books, and I think I got a little carried away. I mean, sometimes it's so fun to surprise people, and a lot of people ask for Solarium, and maybe that's why I was caught off guard. I can't find any copies of Solarium. And we never let anything go out of print for good. So sometime, depending on sales over the next couple of months, that and Oscar Submerges, which we have. It says on our site that we got none left, but we actually have 3 left. I know I'm only holding up 2, but if suddenly a third hand came out of nowhere, you might be a little unnerved. And so just trust me, we got 2 of these and 1 of the original covers left. But I'm going to leave it at 0 on the site, and so we'll see. We also have that as we're slowly putting together our electronic books, which doesn't mean that you can get a shock or you can't throw it into the bathtub. It means, I think you know what it means, so I don't know why I'm telling you. These you can throw in the bathtub as well. Anyway, Oscar Submerges is, I think, available on our ebook list. I say I think because I've not ordered one myself, and until I order it, I don't know. Anyway, so book covers. I could talk forever about our book covers. I love them. This one was more. This one I probably had as much to do with it or more than even Zach. So we had the flamethrowers had this great photo. Is that one available? Hard to reach from here. So anyway, I know. I think we have it in here. Just be patient. It's a short video. That was the original photo, and I love the dog in the gas mask. And so this painting, which was done by someone from Piran, a town down the street, the one where James Joyce began having or committed the drunk that led to his eye problems. An artist there, I went to his exhibition, which was here, not 2 blocks from my apartment, and I saw this and I said, the cover of Arlt, and he readily agreed, and so this became the cover of Arlt, but we got that in there as well. So covers mean a lot to us. The quality of the books are also important, but we're just lucky because we found a really good printer. Then we were unlucky because they went out of business. But then we were lucky again because the only people we could find in the whole country, there may be more, but I don't know, the ones that have a reasonable price, something we can live with, and do a great job, we found them, and they put together great books. They're nice and flexible with one exception, and that exception is one of my books, God damn it, and it is this one, The Appearance of Death to a Hindu Woman, which is very important to me in terms of my oeuvre. It's just a little stiff. It's a little stiff. It's some books are a little stiff. I could have turned them down when they were published or printed, and the printer would have said, "Yeah, that is not good." But it's okay. It's not going to fall apart or anything. It's just it doesn't have that marvelous flexibility that most of them have. And it's got I love the cover. And anyway, so this one, the problem was glue. Their supplier of glue had given them a bad batch, and it was a while before they realized it. I didn't even ask about it for at least half a year. And then I said, there's that one book that was a little stiff. And they knew. And, I just, they were a family business, and now they're out of business. So I'm glad I didn't ask them to redo this, add to their troubles. Anyway, when this comes out again, it'll be a deluxe copy. Yeah. If only I could just spend all the money on my own books. So, yeah, that. But we're back to the filthy synecdoche. Now, the title. What I love about the title is that, and also I don't like a lot of crap on the books. I do like a good logo, and we've got the hand going into the coat and either removing a book or putting it in. Um, and I really love our logo. Jeff Walton, who works on Philip Friedenberg's books, does the illustrations. He created that on my suggestions and so on. Did a wonderful job. Although on one this size, you can't really even tell what's going on there. Maybe one of Jeff Walton, Philip Friedenberg's books. Look at that. Okay. Maybe you can tell what's going on. I don't know. Anyway, Ben Lieberman is the conventional spelling. Lieberman's a common name. Ben, also common, but really easy to spell anyway. He's the author, and he's a very good writer. And this is one of those books. I'm not going to tell you about it, other than to tell you that it's extremely good. But you read this and you think, Christ, I never would have read about that. Where did that come from? What is it's also it's I don't know if the writing is cinematic. I'm not sure what cinematic writing is, but I could imagine Paul Newman playing a role in this. There's a sort of hint. It has a little bit of a something to here. This cover, by the way, was thought of by the author, and we put a lot of thought into a cover that me and Zach that we thought was just great, and then the author found said that that'll cause me a lot of grief, and I won't go any further than that. But I caused him some grief. I wrote him this letter that said, like, I've never given in thinking about and he was really nice about it. He just said, something. The hardest thing he said was, "I'm surprised at you." And, when somebody says, "I'm surprised at you," that you've fucked up, and they're being kind. I was being more arrogant than I realized. So we got this book with the great cover. It was he said he saw something like this on a Sylvia Plath book once, and we also went back and forth on him, with him, not on him. Yeah, we tied him up in a basement and beat the shit out of him. The light was just like this one, All right, Ben, how do you want your cover, huh? Wrong answer. Anyway, Ben wanted this to be centered, and originally Zach had it off center, which I thought was a good idea. And you can't really discuss this in a rational way that argues right and wrong, whatever. But what I realize is that for whatever reason Ben wants this in the center. The fact is, one thing we get, our authors have final word on such decisions. That's always the case. And so when I think the first copies were printed without that in the center, and when it came out that way, Ben really wanted it in this. Not Ben. What's his name? Robert. Yeah, Robert Stickley wanted it in the center, and my thought was, well, I have an opinion, and I like it not centered, and and Zach has that opinion, and we believe that we're right. It looks better without, being centered. And then I imagined, Stickley looking at this thing on his shelf for the rest of his life, just being, because once you know it's not in the center, every time you look at it, that's what you see. So I imagine him going his whole life looking at that and thinking, fuck, off center, off center. Once you notice it, you can't stop noticing it. It would have tortured him the rest of his life. So luckily, he stuck to his guns. It required a change. I don't know how much. I've never made a cover. Zach does that. And, I don't know how much work it took, but it was definitely worth it to relieve Stickley of a lifetime of grief, not to be grandiose. And anyway, if you want a lifetime of grief, I can't help you because that's a weird thing to want. But I think that you should read this book by Ben Lieberman based on the title, and you will be glad that you did. It's an extremely good book, and it's the kind of thing you just don't think you'll be reading about. And that's all I'm going to say. And I'm not saying, I don't mean to suggest that there's something like, like graphic sex on every page or anything like that. You want sex? We got Vesna Radic for all of you, and one of them's gold. I don't know, the Rado Letters, which is the second in the Promised trilogy. It's gold. That's a gold cover. It's got actual gold in it, and it's one of the classiest covers we've ever had. These are epistolary sex novels. Tenderlopolis was the first, and I still have a tender place in my Opolis for this one. Great book, Tenderlopolis. Great covers. This one was Zach's hippie cover, and this is his classic erotica cover. I think 18th century, maybe. Where would you put it? And which one's Casanova? He didn't really write dirty stuff, Casanova. Good writer, though. It was interesting. It was in Casanova's book. Well, never mind. That's an Isla story. I'm not going to tell Isla stories on your time. So another one. Now, are we getting too many white covers? Yes, we are, and we're going to stop with that now. Everything from now on, it's all going to be flamingo. But this one, I like the cover, but I don't really like the lettering. But that's just me. But this is an excellent book. Both of these are first novels. Wade Gavin's Wailing, Madness, Shame, and Death, and he's been compared to McCarthy, and one reader said that it just, is it too much like McCarthy? And I had read it and I didn't even think of McCarthy, whose Suttree is one of my favorite books, but I have a criticism that this is too much like McCarthy. And I was thinking, okay, I love McCarthy. I love the Suttree book, and Outer Dark I liked a lot. That's about where it goes with me and well, I guess he's dead now, so I can say whatever I want. Me and the old fella. Sorry to see him go. He was he was a good guy to have around. Suttree was fantastic. Blood Meridian, I think, is I don't know, is very good, but not close to Suttree. The writing is superior in Suttree. But I was thinking if I wanted to write myself a a Suttree-esque book. How the hell would I do it? So if this is overly influenced by Suttree, my answer to that person who didn't mean it critically, he liked the book a lot, but he said, I wonder if it's, was that kind of thing. And I said, yeah, I hope so. Great. If you can write to Cormac McCarthy's standards, and then great. Now, wouldn't it be, Pynchon is going to, we're going to lose Pynchon sometime in the next 20 years. I'm being optimistic. Wouldn't it be nice if there was someone who came along and wrote just like Pynchon? So if this is just like Cormac McCarthy, great. This, I don't know who to compare him to, and I'm expecting to see something very different and interesting. Not that this is not interesting. It is interesting. It's very interesting. But I'm very curious about the next step, or whatever, if it is a step. I don't know. It might be a shuffle. So that's what I want to tell you is Ben Lieberman's Filthy Synecdoche is a great book, and you can get it at Coronasamizdat. Thank you.